Do not move to Atlanta. I repeat, do not move to Atlanta. It is not going to solve all your problems. I don't know where y'all get this mindset. I don't know who told y'all this. I don't know if it was TikTok, the girls on TikTok. I know a lot of y'all are not that girl. You're not going to live that life. Don't do it. Versace TV back with another motherfucking video. Thank y'all for tuning in. So this video, wait, before we get into the video, let's get into the hoodie. Support your local black strip club. I finally got my Summer Walker hoodie. I'm gonna let y'all see the back real quick. I'm a Summer Walker stan, for those of y'all who do not know. So I'm living for her, you know, on all occasions. I won't tolerate any slander by her. But today's video is gonna be about my move to Atlanta, like in a nutshell. So that's like the good, the bad, the ugly. And I know that I said that I was gonna do like a reaction video. Don't rush me. I'm gonna get it done. I just feel like this is something I needed to talk about. I feel like it was a good topic. It's been a while since I've been here. I really haven't spoke on it too much as far as like publicly, more so to just like close friends and family members and mentors and stuff like that. I'm gonna talk about different experiences, my personal experiences. So don't like take some of my experiences and kind of apply them to your own life, because my experiences will not be yours. So I'm gonna really just talk about kind of like why I moved, couple different points. I'm not gonna get too deep into each one because the video will be too long, and I probably will make like, if you guys have any questions or want to know something about something I talked about and want me to make it to a story time, I'll probably do that later. So this video is not super long and I can branch it off and make more videos. So first, let's talk about like why I moved to Atlanta. Like why I moved to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta because, one, I wanted to leave home. I was ready to go. I just felt like it was really nothing there for me. I was ready for like the next stage of my life, and I felt like I couldn't do what I needed to do there. You know what I mean? Not at that time in California. So, and I also moved to go to college. So I've been here about a little over 2 years now. So I've been here for a while, like damn near a peach, if you ask me. So I started going to a HBCU out here because that's what people told me to do. Literally, like I go to college. I don't really care for college. I went to college just to have like a backup, you know, in case whatever I really want to do in life doesn't pan out, I could have this to fall back on. And like my family really wanted me to go. A lot of my family members, and they kind of pushed for me to go. And they told me, you know, I got you. Just make sure you go. Don't worry about the money, because college is expensive. And especially HBCUs, those of y'all who do know, HBCUs, they don't get government funding. So a lot of their money is coming from like alumni and endorsements and, you know, people donating and other things. I'm sure there's other ways they get money too. Through us. That's why they charge our tuition so high, when we're really not even, you're not even really getting, I feel like personally, what you paying for. And it's like you kind of really just paying for an experience. I honestly feel like people told me that before, and I was like, well, I see all these people, you know, going to this school and they getting these degrees and having these connections. There's got to be more to it than that. No, you're paying for an experience. And I realized this when like a lot of my classes were getting canceled. And at first I was like, yay, I don't have to go to class, I can nap. But then after a while, it's like, damn, this class canceled like every week. What am I paying y'all for? You know what I mean? The caf food is terrible. What am I paying y'all for? These desks in the room, they look like, not even, I won't even say high school, because my high school desk was better than that. These look like in a penitentiary. Like, I don't know. It was a lot of stuff I couldn't get behind. I just always ask myself, like, where is my money going? Where is it going? And I really went to HBCU because like a lot of my mentors and family friends had went to this college and they had kind of pushed for it. And out of the other colleges that I had got into, this was like one of the top HBCUs, quote unquote. You know what I mean? I don't want to ever say one HBCU is better than another, but if you go off what's online says and statistics and stuff like that, it's supposed to be better. But we love all HBCUs, power to you. And honestly, I really didn't want to go to a HBCU. I really didn't even know about HBCUs up until probably like my junior year of high school, I want to say. I really didn't know what it took to get into college. Like, I started learning this late, like personal statements, scholarships, FAFSA, all these things that contributed to it. And I really wasn't doing that well in school up until now. Like, I was doing decent. I was getting by, and not having to repeat anything, but I wasn't getting the kind of grades and doing the extracurriculars that you really need to look good on a college application to where they would want to give you money and want to set you up for success. I don't really feel like I was set up for success to go to college. Like, people, they pushed me to go to college, but nobody was really able to cut out time to give me the help I needed and give me the information and the tools and the resources that I needed to get into college. Like, people just tell you, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I've never done this. I've never seen it done. I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I don't know what it's not supposed to look like. And you kind of just doing everything on your own. So then when you show somebody your work and they kind of looking at you sideways, like, what's this?
This is all I got. This is all I got.
You just don't have no idea what it's really supposed to look like because nobody ever really broke it down to you. So I feel like I struggle with that a lot. I didn't really do that well, like in my earlier years of like freshman, sophomore, and up until that second semester of junior years where I started trying to do a turnaround and combat those bad grades that I did have so I would look better and more competitive, especially because I wanted to go to school in California. I wanted to go to school in LA. That was my initial thing. I wanted to go to school in LA. Didn't get into the schools I wanted to go to. So I just went with the next best thing, HBCU, and it's this one specifically because, like I said, all the people were pushing for it. And I have family in Atlanta, thank God, which a lot of people don't have that when they go off to school or when they just move off. And I would actually say, like, what helps is like moving somewhere where you do have family, or you move somewhere with someone like a brother, a sister, a cousin, a significant other, maybe even just a dog, just so you can have a companion, something that keeps you grounded, something that you can, kind of reminds you of home so you don't get too homesick. Personally, me, I never have really been homesick. Of course, I've missed, things and people from back home, and really just my schedule being back home, that like when I moved here and I was transitioning, I was going to school on campus, living in a dorm where I've never had to ever share a room before. To this, it was very like a big transition for me, and I really didn't like it. And when I'm the type of person where when I have my mindset on something, I really want to get out of it. I want to move around it. I don't want to do it. But you really don't have a choice. So I had to thug it out, and I'm very adaptable. I'm glad I have this characteristic because it allows me to, even though I'm not in the best situation, I can make the best out of it. I'll be okay. I'll learn to live with it. A lot of people can't do that. So that's definitely like probably one of the biggest things was just transitioning, leaving home, not having access to like certain things, not being able to go call up my friends and go hang out, go get tacos, go to a view. That's what I really miss, like the views in California, like the hills. I'm used to hills and, stuff like that. Out here in Atlanta, it's Georgia's flat. They have a nice skyline, but like there's no hills and mountains and all the other stuff that we have in California little things that I miss like that, just tacos, Mexican food. The Mexican food out here sucks. So like I said, I never really wasn't homesick. I was really actually happy to go. I did want to move to Atlanta a few years prior, and there's reasons behind that. I just was tired. Like, I'm really never been scared to like just pack up and move and live a different life. Like, I would literally just go move somewhere and just start a whole new life. Like, I'm really just like that. Like, I have love for the people behind in my past and the people I've met, and I'll still keep in touch with them and everything. But I like to move around. Like, I don't think I ever want to live in one place too long. Like, I don't know. That's just not me. I feel like once I get too comfortable, I'm ready for the next thing. So I didn't really feel homesick. I was actually happy to be gone. I was happy to be like in a new environment, and it's very different than California, being as that we are very diverse, where in Atlanta, it is a lot of black people. It's like black owned businesses, black owned this, black owned that. And it's like although we have a lot of black people doing stuff and people of color in California and specifically the Bay Area doing these things, it's not as many. It's not as often. It's not as I don't know the word I was gonna say, but like I was saying, it just happens a lot more often here than you see it out there. My support system. So like I had my aunt out here, of course my mom, my grandma, but a lot of my family members back home that were like backing me and telling me they got me, you know, financially, whatever I need. Really, when it was time to have my back, didn't have my back. But you know, a lot of people talk and they say things and they that's their way of supporting you through these words of encouragement. Save it. I don't need no words of encouragement. I need money. I'm a broke college student. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about it and talk through it. I need funds. Send me the fucking funds. We'll talk later. The bills is due now, not later.
What's holding you back? Because the bills due now, not later. So send the motherfucking funds.
So luckily I had like my aunt out here. She would help me with my groceries and stuff. And that's another reason why I actually decided to move to Atlanta. Like, so my aunt, my mom's sister, I always felt like she was like the most independent of my grandma's kids. So my mom, my uncle, and her, she moved to Atlanta and started going to her HBCU when she graduated high school. She been living out here ever since. You know, she's the aunt with no kids. She travels, she lives her life, she has fun. And that's always kind of what I wanted for myself. Like, I just wanted to be free. Like, I don't want to be stuck home and trying to raise kids and, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's just not, no. I got to live my life for me first before I do anything else. So I always idolized her in that aspect. I wanted to be like her. I feel like I didn't really get to experience Atlanta lifestyle, like going out and partying and having fun, until after COVID had hit. So it was, I feel like, different, obviously, for obvious reasons, than what it would have been like prior to that. So once COVID had hit, we kind of like got kicked off the campus. I had started living with my aunt, and I had started working like 40 hours a week, like at a job. So I went from now we're transitioning from, you know, in-person classes to where our teachers have to convert their whole curriculum that they've written out for the year into online now. And now we have to get up every day at certain times and go online, which we're not used to and they're not used to. And it was very complicated. And I felt like a lot of the work I had put in that second semester kind of went to shit, because when I was trying to balance working in school, and also I was not used to and not really happy with the online classes. I felt like I wasn't learning anything. I felt like it was a waste of my time and waste of my money. So trying to juggle those two things, like I'm not really good with that. So I found myself like putting my job over school, which you shouldn't do, especially as like a full-time student. But I felt like I needed that money.
I need that money
at the time to, you know, support me and anything else I had going on. So of course my money had came first. I really do tend to put my money first above a lot of stuff, which isn't always the best thing. But, you know, like at the end of the day, like if I go broke, who gonna pay my bills? That's how I see it. Like, I can always stop going to school, go back to school when I can. But if I stop working and I don't got no money, nobody's gonna make sure that I'm good. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't have a backup plan and people to fall back on. And I knew one thing I didn't want to do was go back home. That's why I didn't go back home when the pandemic hit anyway, when everybody went back home. I didn't want to do that. I was going to figure a way out. That's what I really admire about myself. I don't always know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get that shit done. Best believe. Like, you'll never find me where you left me. So I began living with my aunt and working these hours. And like I said, the job kind of took precedent over my school, and it showed at the end of the semester when I got my grades. And on top of that, like one of my family members was like really, really sick back home in California. And I hadn't been home since probably December of the year before. So December 2019, I went home. And now we like in July 2020, after the pandemic. The pandemic hit in March 2020. So I'm planning on going home for a couple weeks in July, and like literally right before I got there, a week before, I think they had passed away. So I had lost, you know, a family member I didn't even get to say goodbye to. This was like one of our ancestors, you know what I mean? So when I went home, the vibe was really off. It was very different, you know. And honestly, I feel like my family really hasn't been the same. The get-togethers aren't the same. The family just doesn't connect and be unified like it was anymore. So hopefully that changes for the better. But I decided like at that point that it was a lot going on and that I didn't feel like I could continue going to school, work, deal with this. And on top of all that, my mental health was like really shot because I had kind of lost all motivation. I want to go to school and I didn't know what I was doing with myself, how I was going to make it out of my aunt's house and get me a place. And during this pandemic and jobs weren't hiring, I needed another job because I'm working 40 hours and I'm pulling $400, $300 checks. I'm working 40 hours for $300 checks. I'm not used to that. In California, you know, our labor laws are very different and our minimum wage is very different. They don't really care about you out here. Like you'll work, you know, 8 hours a day and barely get a break. And you only pulling $300 checks, like that's not gonna cut it.
It's not going, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going, nah, it ain't gonna work.
Not at all. 2 minimum wage jobs really just barely will cut it, like barely. And you'll have to live somewhere on the outskirts, all out the way. Just, you know what I mean? You gotta work in the city and live out the way just to survive. And so, you know, I had to like find me a different job. Luckily, I was able to and stack my bread, but COVID really kicked my butt. Like like I said, my mental health wasn't good. When my mental health isn't good, I can't focus on anything other than just trying to scramble to get my pieces together, get my life right. Like I got to figure out, okay, how am I going to get this money to make sure I can pay for this, to make sure I can live till next month and X, Y, and Z. And I kind of felt like even though I had my family there, it's a lot of things that were internal that I felt like I couldn't bring to nobody else. You know what I mean? Or they wouldn't really understand. Like you ever be around a group of people, but you still feel alone? That's really how I felt. Like, although I had my family here and I was living with my aunt, I really felt alone. And I was like fighting depression and stress and just not knowing what I'm doing. Like when I don't feel like I'm doing anything productive in my life, I kind of just feel like I'm wasting my time. And I feel like a lot of people feel like that. And we also look on social media and see other people's success and compare it to our own. And I can't speak for everybody else, but I know other young people feel this way. Like you seeing, you know, people your age or younger, you know, taking these trips, getting on boats, going to different countries, owning all these luxurious brands and stuff like that. And you just feel like, well, what am I doing wrong? How do I get to that? You know what I mean? And I feel like it's important never to compare your own success to someone else's because you'll never be happy with yourself in your own success. And that's something I've had to preach to myself and practice. I'm still going through that now. Like it's an ongoing fight. It doesn't just go away overnight. You're just going to have to remember that and get into that state of mind and pray about it, honestly. You got to just focus on yourself and your own success. And I also feel like I'm a type of person where I'm so ready to move on to the next level, the next thing, that I don't take time to appreciate where I'm at. Because there was a time where I was back home and living in my mom's house, and I was so ready to have my own place, to live somewhere else, to just do the things that I'm doing, taking trips, you know, living life, that when I got here, I got so ready. I'm so ready for the next thing that I didn't get to sit and appreciate where I was at in life and where I am at. And I feel like, honestly, if you don't take the time to appreciate where you at and be thankful, you can't move on to your next stage. You know what I mean? So that's just, you know, food for thought. My living situation kind of got bad because I had allowed one of my friends to come stay with me at my aunt's house for a couple like days, and it went really, really left. I'll probably definitely make a story time about that. For those of y'all who know, y'all know a good friend of mine, old good friend of mine, I'm no longer friends with, had came. I'm still not quite sure exactly what happened, but I have a good idea to where like it kind of compromised my whole living situation. Not that I didn't tell my aunt what was going on, but she knew that she was staying there in X, Y, and Z, but stuff happened, and I really can't even explain it without explaining it, so I'm gonna leave it for another video, y'all, because it's crazy. Like, if y'all remember those videos and the stuff that was being posted, you know, if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say on it for right now. But that kind of fucked up my living situation, because at that point, my aunt no longer really wanted me to live there. She felt like, I think in her mind, she felt like I did that on purpose, but I don't know why I would mess up. I lived there too, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mess up where you lay your head at, and also compromise where I lay my head at. And after that, I kind of really felt like I wasn't wanted there. Like, so I tried to spend a lot of time at like my friend's house if I could, or I'll just come and just to shower and change clothes, grab some clothes, or if I really needed to, spend the night and then just try to be out the next day real early, just because I didn't feel wanted there. I didn't feel comfortable. You know, you don't feel comfortable somewhere you feel like you're not wanted. So I had to really do my best to get my money right and move out. I even had like kind of like a date to be out. Like, I had till this like January, I believe, to be out. So that happened in the summer, and I had to like January. So I didn't have really that much time to really, like I said, get myself together the way I did. But, you know, luckily God works in mysterious ways, and I was able to do that. So come like November, I was able to, you know, get an apartment, my own 1-bedroom by myself. And I'm really so happy for that, because I didn't realize how much pleasure comes from owning your own stuff. Like, you know, having your own place, and, you know, this is mine. Nobody can take this away from me. I don't have to ask permission for people to come and for people to go. I don't have to, you know, it's a lot of things that come with living with other people that I don't have to think about anymore. If I want to walk around here naked, I will, and I do a lot, often. And that's like one of the most rewarding things to me, really being able to say, okay, this is mine. But these bills, these bills can't be the same bills our parents was paying. Like, everybody want to move to Atlanta and Texas and because it's cheaper. But right now, I feel like Atlanta, she want to be New York and California so bad right now. Like, inflation has been really, really high ever since. I won't even say this since the pandemic is over, because the pandemic is just everlasting. We're still in the pandemic, but when the pandemic was worse, things were a lot cheaper. You know, people were scamming. They was doing this, they was doing that. Money was good. But right now, they trying to get their lick back. Atlanta's trying to get their lick back. So they got you getting studios, apartments in the city that's costing like $1,500-$1,600, when you can go out the way to like Decatur and McDonough and all these other places and start paying mortgages for the same price almost. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's ridiculous. Like, even just going outside can cost you $200. A couple drinks, some food, and a hookah. Honestly. And these gratuity fees, whew. And then for them to not even be coming and checking your table like that and making sure you're good, Atlanta crazy as hell. Atlanta is a big party city. You know what I mean? I spent, prior to getting my own apartment and working my other jobs and stuff like that, I was going out a lot after I had stopped going to school. Like, kind of, you know, Atlanta was kind of more open than a lot of the other states and cities. So although some things might kind of be more so outside, it were things to do. And so I was getting my feet wet, and I was going out, and I was seeing the city for what it was and experiencing. It was a lot taken in. I'd never really been out. I wasn't going out and sneaking out. I mean, I was not sneaking out. I'm grown. But, you know, I wasn't doing all that stuff back in California. So it was like a breath of fresh air. And I didn't wild out or do anything like super crazy and was doing drugs and being stupid. But I did have my fair share of going out and drinking and having fun and partying all night, maybe 4 times a week, just cause, why not? Like, and I really feel like that was part of my mental health. My mental health wasn't good. It just was, why not? Like, you don't want to be home. You don't want to think about, you know, what you got going on. So you go to the club and you smoke and you drink and you just, it's an escape. And it was fun too. So I'm not mad at anything I did. You know, I had fun. I lived my life. I'm young. I'm in my 20s. That's what I'm supposed to do. But navigating through just adulthood, I want to say, living in a different state, completely different than what I'm used to, has been, like I said, a journey. I've been through things that I never thought I feel like, especially as a kid, a young adult, like you can feel very untouchable. Like you feel like a lot of things that people go through, you would never experience, you can never relate to that. But just as fast as you can say, oh, that can never be me, that'll never be me, it could be you. Never say it can't be you. It can be. I've been in a lot of experience in situations that I never felt like I would ever be in. If you would have asked me that before I moved, I would have been like, hell no, that would have never flew. And I've been through them, and so I really try to be less judgmental and be more understanding and receptive to people's situations, because you just never know. I done been out with somebody who was supposed to be my friend. I done fought with them, fist fought in a place that I was known to go to. That's gonna be a story time for another day. So I know y'all gonna want to hear about that. I done been through failed relationships, toxic situationships, bullshit. Atlanta is trying to take me out. Okay? I'm tired of Atlanta. Like, Atlanta is a lot. But it's fun. It's a good city. It's like you just have to know what you come here for. You got to stick to the plan. You can get very sucked into this city and the toxicity and the going out and the having fun. And I just see people, they change. They just be drunk and coked out. You got to come here with a plan and stick to your plan and not be easily distracted. That's why I said it's good to come with somebody that can help keep you grounded, help keep you focused. I think that's very important, especially in times like this where it's COVID and a lot of people are at home and working from home. You need a companion. You need somebody you could trust. I am ready for my next stage. I'm still being thankful for what I got, but baby, it got to give something. So I've been really primarily working on myself. I've been staying in a lot more, especially now that we have all these different variants of COVID. I'm working on trying to like obtain my real estate license. I'm working on different things like just building my social media presence and platforms like on TikTok. And I haven't really so much worked on Instagram. I feel like I am getting some followers from TikTok on Instagram, but I need like a flood. Like I need like 50K. You know what I mean? So I'm building my YouTube up. I have been talking about doing a YouTube for so many years. Like I've literally been talking about a YouTube channel since I was like 14, 15 years old. And I'm just now doing it. So this is kind of like my end of the year video, but I probably won't even have it up until next year. But just know I recorded this on New Year's Eve. I am also working from home right now just to like pay the bills until what I'm trying to do kind of like takes off of me. And I really feel like it takes sometimes leaving home. Like, people at home do not support you like how people in different states or people online support you. You know what I mean? You can meet somebody today and they can have like a bigger impact on you than somebody you know your whole life. I really stick by that because it's a lot of people that I've met, not even since I've been here, but just in shorter time frames than I've known other people for that have had bigger and better impacts on me and been able to help me and put me in better situations. And I also feel like who you hang around kind of helps you move into your lifestyle. So you know what I mean? You can't hang around people that fit your past. You gotta more so hang around people that's gonna fit your future. So if you wanna be like me, I wanna kind of move into the social media and influencing thing. I need to hang around more social media influencers. You know what I mean? I can't talk social media influence with my friends. Nothing's wrong with it. They like to work a 9-to-5 job. They're content. They're okay with that. That's fine. There's no problem with that. But I just know that's not the life I want to live for myself. I don't want to punch the clock. I don't want to work for anybody. I want to be the boss. I don't like taking orders. That's not for me. So that's nothing I see myself doing long term. It's just, I've tried it. I've done it. It's not for...
I don't know nothing about that lifestyle. Whatever y'all got going on, because that's not me.
That's fine if you do. It's fine if it is for you. If that's your only choice right now, that's fine. But I really feel like you got to get out there and make a way for yourself. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to do away with like procrastination and distractions and trying to just really hone in on my skills and my craft so I can perfect it and reach the level that I know that I can get to. Because I always have felt like I was born to be something. I was born to be somebody. I was born to leave some type of mark, to be set free from like the shackles of like poverty. So that's what I'm working on right now. And just trying to be more happy. Like I feel like I'm never really, like I be good, I'm cool, and I'm the funny friend and all, but I don't be feeling like I be really that necessarily happy. So I'll be trying to just, now I'm taking the time to figure out what makes me happy and just be around people who make me and add to that. You know what I mean? Happiness comes from within, but you also, there's people who you can be around that actually add to it and not take away. So I'm working on that too. And just navigating adulthood, like I said, and figuring out my purposes. But y'all do not move to Atlanta thinking that, you know, it's a bad place, it's a bad city, it's a bad that. Nowhere is bad. It's literally kind of what you make of it, anywhere you go. So you can have your ups and downs. Like I said, my experiences won't necessarily be your experiences. You might come here and meet the best friends and the love of your life. You never know. You just never know. And that's part of life, is taking a risk. And that's one thing I told myself when I moved here. I wanted to take more risk. I wanted to be more outgoing. I wanted to network more and social. There's been times I've done that and I got burnt. And then there's been times, you know, where it's been beneficial into my development and just imperative to me in my life. So you know what I mean? Like, everything in life is a gamble. You can't be scared to take risks. If you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So don't move anywhere, like I said, thinking it's just going to solve your problems and it's going to be this and you're going to, you know, a lot of those girls on TikTok, you see them and they live in these lavish lifestyles, but a lot of them girls, what she said, wait a minute. These ain't no scammers. These is hoes.
Wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. These bitches ain't no scammers. These is hoes.
Some of them might be, but a lot of them not. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But with that being said, that's gonna conclude my video on the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you did like. Let me know what you didn't like. And yeah, until next time, y'all.